Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Wild at Heart. I am here at the alternate exit from Frostfields, and so we're going to take the lift from the southeastern part of the map, and we're going to see where it goes. So this takes us over to Wisp Wagon, and we will be going through Wisp Wagon next. All I'm really gonna do, because I haven't had a chance to do any sort of real practice to get my bearings, is I'm just going to unlock the shortcuts. So we will have to do a little bit of fighting here. I only brought 20 spritlings with me rather than the maximum 45, just so it wasn't so chaotic. I don't really need them all. All I'm going to be doing here is just using my 5 twiglings to unlock this shortcut. Now, with that being said, I'm going to look at the map. It might be faster for me just to run quickly through Wispwagon down to the warp pad rather than go back through Frostfields and go over to that warp pad. So even though we're not really going to be doing an in-depth exploration of the area, I think we have enough unlocked here that we can take the portal. We keep looking at all the stuff that we can do now, since we have all of the different spritlings and we also have Kirby. So there's going to be a lot to do the next time we come through here. So right now we still cannot warp to the Grove, so I'm going to warp to the Central Deep Woods and we will carry on from there. You may or may not remember that Greycoat told us that they were in a bit of trouble at the Grove, and then I kind of just promptly ignored him and carried on my way. We will be going back to the Grove shortly, but there are just a few small little things that I can do now that we have some shiverlinks. So I'm gonna grab a few more of these guys, increase the size of my herd, and you can see right in front of our faces there's just 2 things for us to take care of. Whoops, wrong spriteling. There we are. So we can destroy that flower, and this will allow us to finish up this puzzle, I believe. And then we can also create ourselves an ice bridge, and we can bring this artifact back over and deliver it to Scrap Heap. There is also a page over here for the book. Make sure you grab that. And that was pretty much it. Just those 2 very, very small little things I wanted to do since we are so close to this warp pad. So now we can go check out what the heck is going on at the Grove, because it didn't sound very good. And they may need our help, so we should probably actually go through the effort of checking. Kirby, what's up? Don't you feel that? Pitter-pattering feet throughout my woods like a drumming on the crown of my head. We meet at last. It's Big Pockets. I think that's the guy Greycoat warned us about. Greycoat, ha! From a noble line of witches 6 generations deep to a distrait vagabond in a dirty smock. Yes, that is what I have reduced him to. I've seen you in the woods, watching us, then disappearing. Just getting updates on your progress, that's all. Stay back. What a sublime gift I've received. She cried out for help, and in stumbled the master key. And her hold is finally weakening. I can feel my fingers stretch. Away with you, Spectre. You're not him. Look, little ones, your babysitters have arrived. Let me run a gash through this tulpa's heart. Malingering lick-spittle mud conjurers. The wardens would weep if they knew the state of the rabble they left in their stead. Old bearded witch, it is almost done. I have the last piece now. You know of what I speak. Or do you? Perhaps I have eaten too much. Soon you may be unable to even stand from your own filth. Enough of this. As a conduit of the green witch of these deep woods, begone, I command you. Slink back into your pit. Are you two alright? That was him? Yes. His name was Big Pockets. My dear, are you alright? Yes. My head just feels a bit fuzzy. I spoke to you of Big Pockets before. He was a green shield who pursued the Never to its heart and did not return. But something else did. The Never is using his body to walk about during the day, to undo the work we make against it. I must advise you to be careful, young masters, while you finish gathering the artifacts. If you see him, it's best to run. There isn't much it can do in that shape that it wears, but I fear that won't be for long. Return to us at the Grove should you need anything, and... well, I've said enough. Have you, though, Greycoat? Hey, did you really say enough? Because it sounded like you had something important to say. But you can see that there is just some corruption over top of our portal. So now we can use the Grove's portal again. And there's a few things that we can do in the Grove. The first is to give the broken watch to Paper Plains. I haven't seen this since... wherever did you get this? We helped this giant furry weasel out at the coast. You spoke with Kath, and they didn't eat you? That's right, they talk a big game, but it's all mush and cuteness underneath. This is quite the trinket. This compass is an old companion of mine, one I used to help chart the deeper mysteries of the woods. Return to me in a day or so. I should be able to use this to expand my map selection. Yeah, so we might actually be able to rest and then see what he's got to offer in the morning. We have also finished our first bounty for toothpicks, or did I not talk to her? We talked to her, didn't we? I am having some weird deja vu. I swear that we talked to her, but maybe I reloaded a save at some point and I lost the progress. Because by this point, you would have definitely destroyed 5 shelter horns. So apparently I'm a little bit behind in that regard. Because I believe that anything that we're hunting are these different creatures. These are all different types of shelter horns, so any of the lootbacks, the buffbacks, frostbacks, etc. We definitely have destroyed 5 of these since we first brought toothpicks back to the grove. If you're wondering, her next hunt will be the gum plops, which are pretty easy to find. You can find them in the central woods there. We've also got more and more of Litterbox's cats popping up, as we can see. We have the cute little unicorn kitty over here. Let's first talk to Scrap Peep, because we have also brought back a lot of stuff for his Grove Trove. So he's gonna give us some kettle bombs, some scrap, a new item called a piggy bank. If we carry this in our inventory, it will allow us to lose less scrap when we get hit, or if we happen to die. Even more scrap, and then finally he has a nightlight for us. Yeah, give me that scrap. Look at that, 7,000 pieces of scrap. That's nuts. Go ahead and talk to Litterbox. We've found a few of her cats. So 4 of her cats, it looks like, since we last spoke to her. I'm gonna dump out my bag and then pick up whatever it was that she just gave me as a reward. Oops, sorry, Litterbox. Didn't mean to talk to you. Just trying to pick up this item. Perfect. We have a whole heck of a lot of upgrades that we can do. We have 16 pieces of heartroot resin. So I will probably just increase Kirby's lantern and Wake's vacuum as much as I can. So I was able to get all 3 of Kirby's upgrades because we upgraded her lantern previous already. And that means that we'll have to do 1 more upgrade on Wake's Gustbuster. I'll also go ahead and purchase another slot for my bag. And then just like that, all of my scrap has been spent. Over at the Sprite hearth, I'm going to go ahead and also increase my carrying capacity for sprites. And then we will have to obviously go and find a bit more glint before we can get another upgrade, although we're not very far off if I wanted to purchase this right away. So why don't we go to bed and see if Paper Plains will have some stuff for us in the morning. I might have to wait a little bit longer. Oh, or not. It allowed me to draft up some very exciting new maps. Who knew the deep woods were full of such wonder? Take a look, I've added them to my shop. So yes, oh, I have a lot of maps to buy also, with no money. But if you bring Paper Plains the compass that we buy from Kath, he will then make 3 different maps. One will be able to tell us where all of the relics are, another will be able to tell us where Litterbox's cats are, and then the last one will tell us where there are any treasure chests that we've missed. So that's why I have been marking everything as I go, because as you can see, I don't really have a need for these maps, to tell you the truth. There are probably some icons I have forgotten to remove, But for the most part, you can see I've already marked off that I'm missing 3 cats in this area. I have a chest that I have to go back for now that I have some barblings. We have 1 more relic to go back for in the Frostfields, and we have yet to explore Wispwagon. I may have missed something, it's entirely possible, so I'm not totally against buying those maps. But if you've been marking things off as you go, it should make things a little bit easier for you, and you won't have to pour as much money into buying all that stuff if you don't want to. I might try and buy the rest of his maps. I'll probably just go ahead and sell some of my mesmerite because I have so much of it. And it's pretty easy to get more of them, so I am just gonna sell half of all my mesmerite to Crow's Nest there. I guess that means I can also buy Wake's last upgrade for his Gustbuster. So we blew through 10 pieces of heartroot resin and we still have a few upgrades to get. I have yet to get any health upgrades because for the most part you don't really need them. And then we also have some bag upgrades to get still. So just for fun, let's go ahead and buy all of Paper Plains' maps that I failed to buy. And that, I think, is pretty much all that I wanted to do in the Grove. So I don't think we have enough material to really do kind of a backtracking video. There's not really much backtracking to do, to be honest. I've been pretty thorough as we moved on through the different areas. So I think it's safe to go right over to Wispwagon. I'm gonna gather up my sprites, gather up some materials, and figure out what I need, and then I will set out to Wispwagon and meet everybody there next time. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you in the next video.